Hi, my name is Zandra and I'm an advocate for human trafficking. Um, I've been a program manager for over 13 years with a foundation, which is the largest nonprofit organization in the state of Florida. And I was asked to attend a human trafficking conference in West Palm Beach a few years back. And I was really blown away and I was really drawn to that topic of human trafficking because many times we think that most of the girls and women that are on the street basically are voluntarily engaging in non-consensual sex and prostitution. However, this whole new realm of crime has opened up in society that we need to really be aware of, and that is human trafficking. In 2008, George Bush re-signed the Human Trafficking Violence Act of 2000, and this is related to putting the offending traffickers into jail and holding them accountable for their actions. Many of these crimes are typically done to our young people, our teenagers, and they're basically sold for profit for the actual trafficker. And they are forced into this lifestyle. And it's a huge and dangerous lifestyle that many families have experienced in their life. One of the things that I was drawn to, and one of the things that I want to do as an advocate, is find different interventions that can help these young ladies and young men recover from this type of crime. The first intervention I would say would be group interventions. A lot of times the teenagers are very ashamed of the type of acts that they have performed, or the actual, based on actual abuse and stuff they sustain. They feel very uncomfortable talking about it. But through supportive groups, especially hosted by people that have experienced trafficking and have recovered from that type of industry, and they're able to share their stories to these young people, will bring comfort to them, to let them know that it's okay and that they can recover from this horrible crime. Another intervention I would like to say is the physical and mental abuse intervention. A lot of times these kids are beaten, they're forced into sex, they suffer from mental, psychological, and social abuse. And one of the things that we want to do is provide services for them. A lot of times they may have to see a psychiatrist for mental issues, or they may have to see a physician for STDs that they may have sustained over experiencing sex with multiple partners and things like that forcefully, and also their physical abuse by being beaten by some of their traffickers. Another intervention that is really necessary is family and community support. A lot of times these kids are very ashamed, and through the extensive lifestyle that they have sustained, that they end up resorting back into that industry. It's very important that families are aware of this and that they are able to be supportive. It's going to be a lengthy process. Normally the recovery process takes about 18 months. So it's very important for families not to feel that it's a rushed type of recovery for these kids, but it's more of a supportive recovery, and sometimes they resort to residential type programs that they can recover with. The community support should have safe places for these young ladies and young men to go to, so that they can receive support, or else at an early time at least, so that they can go, and if it happens the first time, maybe they can run to a safe place and get treatment early rather than an extensive period of time. Another support intervention that I would like to touch base on is kids in foster care. I work with kids in the foster care system, and a lot of times they're placed there based on physical, sexual, substance abuse, emotional abuse, and thus far. Um, so knowing that this is going to take an even more longer process because they are already receiving treatment from one type of trauma, and then they have to receive more treatment from the actual trafficking crime. So it's very important that sometimes for families or children in foster care to be placed in a residential program or a group home so that they can recover from this type of thing. A lot of times these type of programs are managed or directed by a healthcare administrator. They also have psychiatrists on site. They have nursing departments on site that are able to treat them on a day-to-day basis. The length of stay there is typically 18 months. It's very important that we utilize these tools for our young men and young women to recover from this type of crime. It's a horrible crime, and I was really blown away by the people. Some of the ex-pimps also attended the conference. Some of the people that had recovered from it, and they were able to share a lot of extensive information. Some of the pimps shared how they manipulated the kids into this type of industry, and they even had kids as young as 7 years old. So it's very important that we observe and we take precautions towards our kids that are living in this type of era because we don't want them caught up in this type of lifestyle. It can be dangerous, sometimes fatal, so we want to be very, very strict on being alert and watching different behaviors, different actions within our communities and report it as soon as possible. I'm very happy to have shared this information with you, and I hope that someday if you find someone in trouble that you too will also be an advocate and step forward and report these type of crimes. Thank you so much, and have a good evening.